Hey, my YouTube peeps and internet beeps. We're back again from where Carmen Sandiego. Last time, if you remember, we left Stockholm with Carmen basically suffering from the effects of hypothermia. She was rushed to a hospital. The crew snuck her out to take her to San Diego to recover. Uh, she claimed she was good enough to go on a mission, just recon only, to Botswana while Shadow-san was in the Alps, uh, trying to route out some stuff up there. Uh, well, a diamond mine in Botswana, except now Gunner, one of the top dogs at Vile, has one of his top dog recruitees, um, someone to replace a Shadow Son named Roundabout, who has a pretty big reach in local government and law enforcement. So he finds out that um, Acme is working with Carmen. Carmen reluctantly calls in Acme to help with this operation because Shadow-san is just too far away, and they need to get this diamond mine routed out before he gets there. And so Acme says local law enforcement and with Carmen, but they caught wind of it first, so they abandoned it and basically bombed the mine out to erase their existence of the mine, their trace of their presence, basically. But in doing so, like Coach Brent was there, and I guess she figured out as Carmen and crew were escaping on a train, and Carmen was in a meeting with Chick from Acme. Sorry, somehow Coach Brunt and the cleaners caught up with her and had a little bit of a thing. You get to find out the dark truth about Carmen's past, and Shadow-san in particular, who was the one who found Carmen as a baby. Um, he actually didn't find her. Well, it wasn't clear whether he found her in Rio, but like the reason, yeah, it was he found her in Rio, but the reason he was there was not just to steal just any old thing. He was there to take the life of Carmen's father. So that is the big twist for season 2. Um, I'm not actually surprised. I figured that Shadow-san was up to no good. I don't trust him entirely. I think he was well intentioned in not telling Carmen that he's responsible for her parents' death. Um, and he probably felt bad fighting. He probably, he probably took the mission not knowing that there was a child involved, and he found out about the child post murder, and so yeah, I wouldn't call Shadow-san kind of I don't see him as a Manfred. Manfred was obviously, if I don't know if you guys know, but Manfred is a character from Ace Attorney. He's a vile, evil dude. So Shadow-san is not Manfred level, but there are certain similarities of raising the child of the one that you murdered. So in that regard, they do share that similarity. But anyway, so we get that she gets tied up and left on a train car. We don't know if this train is the same train that they were on with the crew, but I don't know. Like finding out that dark secret is interesting. So now we head from there and find out what happens to Carmen. Will Zach and Ivy find her? How will she confront Shadow San with the information she learns from Coach Brunt? It's kind of interesting that Coach Brunt left her and not actually captured her and took her back to Vile. So I'm not sure how I feel about all this. So anyway, we'll just get started. Reminder, this is not a market substitute. Please watch the show on your own time via Netflix or other official capacities that you have. And again, I will remind you that in the coming months, hopefully, I will have embedded videos. I will have a theme song. I will have better stuff coming soon. So I got a friend of mine who's a techie, is willing to help me out. So we'll get those plans going probably by the beginning of next year. We'll have things up and running to create some better content for you. So anyway, and until then, we're going to get started on season 2, episode 10, the finale of season 2 of Carmen Sandiego, a 2019 version. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Oh man, I'm really I'm worried for Carmen, man. I'm just like, I don't know how this is all going to go down. She's going to feel, I'm pretty sure she's going to feel pretty betrayed by Shadow-san. I mean, I saw that coming. I mean, that was kind of obvious. Diego, do do where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? I should have got more water. I forgot. I think I'll
You're
be
risking
fine.
your neck on the word of Coach Brunt without even trying to talk to Shadow-san?
So he can tell me only half the story like always? No, player. I'll learn what there is to know about my family. All on my own. The only sure way I know. I'm going back to Vile Island.
Oh. So she's going back to Vile Island where Domino's going.
She'd never go back.
I said I'd never go back to that cheesesteak joint in Southie after it made my guts explode, but those peppers and onions.
My fist is going to make your guts explode if you say anything to upset Carmen. Every mission in Vile's history is archived on their mainframe. I'll infiltrate the server room and sync you in so you can download the case files. It'll be just like old times.
Which is what they want you to do.
This is one for Acme. Coach Run's little sneak attack on the train fried my communicator. I have no way of contacting Chief.
I can probably help with that.
What?
I traced her transmission when I spotted you talking to her in Botswana. It was Shadow-san's idea.
Infiltrating Vile requires stealth.
If they saw Acme coming, they'd wipe all data from the site and I might never learn the truth.
Calm. Approaching position.
They've already abandoned. That's right. They've already abandoned the island. They're moving the operation.
No,
Red, what is it?
it's gone. The academy. All of it.
That's right. I forgot. They actually abandoned it and blew it up because they knew that Carmen would eventually.
Our glorious institution has weathered many storms, and I have every conviction that we will weather this one.
We should welcome this new chapter in Vile's history as a new beginning.
Like our last new beginning went so well? That would be the day Shadow-san brought Black Sheep to this island. And for that, I vow to mash him up and stuff him into her fancy red hat.
There are more devastating ways to wreak revenge than bodily harm, Coach dearest.
No, I'm not personally familiar with those ways.
Have you forgotten that we possess secrets which would certainly put the two of them at each other's throats?
Imagine what payback Carmen Sandiego might wreak upon Shadow-san if she ever learned the truth.
Let them destroy each other from the inside out.
Do consider planting that seed in Carmen's head instead of your fist the next time she darkens your path. Who knows? In Botswana, perhaps. Evacuation complete.
They
And
did it on
I-
person. Huh. They purposefully let them have that information.
Farewell, sweet palace.
Cleo.
Cleaners. Scrub it.
So they blew up the island. And of course, Domino
This is the
finds.
last time I ever take the advice of Miss Alchette. Or anyone in a dream. No.
And they're out of signal range.
I was able to tap into a weather satellite system, Red. I'm seeing all sorts of wreckage on the ocean floor.
If the case files are down there, I'll find them. I won't let Vile rob the truth from me.
Why would they leave the case files behind? They probably took the case files with them. Red Oni.
Claire, I'm in.
She's been down there a long time. Carmen!
Peppers and onions!
Peppers and onions.
Did you find what you were after?
We need to get this to Claire.
Wait! No.
We might have fared far worse than
Oh,
Botswana
poor
if
Domino,
both
stuck
sides
on an
or any
island.
operatives had been
No.
taken captive.
Or if any key intelligence had been confiscated by Acme.
We owe it to Roundabout's strategic foresight in the matter. And for that he has my vote.
Gunnar, terribly sorry again about the bungle in Botswana, old chap.
It all worked out, Roundabout. In fact, we've decided it's high time our open position be filled by you.
Fancy that. I would be honored to take my seat in the illustrious faculty lounge, at the table which looks not at all how I remember it.
Who here needs a refill?
Reese will.
Hit me, sugar.
A temporary workspace. Our first order of business with you on board will be to scout a suitable site for our relocation.
Suitable site for our relocation. Him surviving on an island. Oh, he's poking himself. Nice.
Come on. I have created fire! All hail the Fire King!
I just set fire to a shelter.
No. No.
He gets rescued by Coast Guard? Or bio-operatives?
Gavino, this is your supervisor speaking. I must regretfully terminate you from Interpol. Have a nice life.
Now he doesn't work for Interpol now.
Red, I just retrieved the file. Buenos Aires, Argentina. 20 years ago. So far, Brunt's story checks out.
Shadowson was dispatched there to take out a hit on someone named Dexter Wolf.
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 Could that be my family name? Does it say anything about a wife or...
No, it doesn't.
Why did they want Wolf gone? Well, he must have been onto them. He was Interpol?
Not Interpol. A traitor. It's a Vile. So, Wolf was a code name. He was a Vile operative?
Not exactly.
He was Vile faculty.
What? Taking out one of your own?
Your silence is like thunder.
Did you take my father's life?
No,
Dexter Wolf. I read the files.
I see.
If you run, I will find you.
No more running. No more secrets.
I'm listening.
Your father taught Stealth 101 at Vile Academy during my time there. I learned a lot from Instructor Wolf when he was present. For like his namesake, the Wolf relished the hunt far too much to lead an idle academic life. The faculty tolerated Wolf's leaves of absence because he always delivered. Never bypassing an opportunity to steal the shirt off someone's back if he saw fit. I was a first-year operative when I was called back for an urgent matter. Dexter Wolf had been going off-grid for longer spells with greater frequency. The faculty suspected that Wolf's excursions were no longer crime-related and discovered that he had been secretly moving Vile assets into personal Swiss bank accounts. The signs were all there. Your father had been preparing to leave Vile, and no one ever leaves Vile. I was handpicked for my specific talents. My orders were to track the movements of my former teacher, gather what information I could about the nature of his betrayal, and tie off loose ends. I tracked Wolf to a town just outside Buenos Aires, Argentina. It was immediately clear that he had indeed been leading a secret life in South America and was preparing to run. And that I had no other option but to carry out my mission. Yet an unexpected obstacle dropped into my path. You. If your mother were anywhere on those grounds that day, I never saw her. Only a nanny, several packed suitcases, and plane tickets. It was all too easy to see why Wolf had wanted out of Vile. Being a father had changed him. He had been planning to end his criminal career not for himself, but for his daughter. His family.
You stole his life.
As you well know more than anyone, Carmen, I have made grave mistakes. It is this road that I once chose. But I do not consider myself an evil man, despite my former allegiances. Only a soldier with orders to obey. Yet nothing could have prepared me for what happened next. It appeared Vile had not been the only entity hunting the Wolf.
Hmm? Acme? Acme killed his father? Or Carmen's father.
Your father promised to return soon and asked you to play a game. See how long you could remain quiet. His words failed to convince, so he found another way to pacify you. He knew he might never see you again. I could see it in his eyes. I am convinced that every decision your father subsequently made was with your safety in mind. But desperation has a way of making even the most accomplished thief err in judgment. Your father's life was not robbed by Vile, but by a young agent. I never saw her again, not until recently. When I came to realize she is now the chief of Acme. And that is how the deed was done.
You're lying. The case file didn't mention Chief or Interpol.
With good reason. The faculty relied solely upon my report, and I opted to withhold details. If there were any way to prove it to you, I would. But no physical evidence survived. Wolf may have been a traitor, but he was also a direct link to Vile. Protocol dictated that I scrub the site of anything potentially incriminating quickly before the police could enter. You were the only loose end I was thoroughly unprepared to tie off. Explaining any particulars of how the deed was done seemed entirely beside the point at the time. Being that I had more unusual actions to justify.
Oh, why on earth would you bring this thing back to the island?
Well, now what was Shadow Sand supposed to do?
What we always do with loose ends.
The child is far too young to have any memory of anything which could compromise us in the future.
But what do we feed it? And who will clean it?
Ugh.
My pocket protector.
Oh, well, looks like little Lambkins is a natural-born thief.
Like her father.
With proper rearing, she could make a fine operative one day.
Oh, yes. Come to Mama Bird.
We entered a pact to keep your lineage secret from you. That was the first vote taken by the faculty that night.
And the second?
The decision to award your father's vacant seat to me in return for my deed.
All this time, even if I believed you, why would you keep it a secret? Why would you make me find out on my own?
Because I have spent nearly half my life watching you forge a remarkable path. One of honor and courage. A road of your own choosing. I fear that learning Vile's blood runs in your veins might cause you to question your life's mission. I feared providing you with any excuse to veer from your course against your one true enemy.
So, I knew there was something suspicious about Acme. Seattle? So she's in Seattle.
First day?
That obvious, huh?
Oh, baby, that's hot.
Okay, so the twins are in Seattle?
would have called. Lost my pen.
So, you must be ready to enlist.
I'm still undecided.
I'm not getting my latte, am I?
I wouldn't drink it.
You went to some trouble to find me, Sandiego. I assume to get to know me better before you can trust me.
I know you like cats. Persian long hairs, apparently.
You are good.
Does it have a name?
Commander.
Cute. When I'm ready, you'll know.
She left.
Chief? But you...
Special occasion, Argent. We're about to receive confirmation of your remarkable instincts regarding one Carmen Sandiego.
Putting him on a death wish. I don't know about this. Carmen's really...
Something's wrong. We have a breach. Someone's in the network.
Good luck accessing Acme files without a passcode.
We're in. We just need that passcode.
Try variations on Commander.
Boom! I'm on a shopping spree. Shadow-san's story checks out. Former Interpol agent Tamara Fraser is on record taking responsibility for Wolf's death and leveraging the case to form a special investigative unit, Acme. According to this, Acme's very first case file, Wolf set fire to what was assumed to be his own villa. By all indications, they never realized anyone else, including you, was present. Wolf wasn't the name on the house deed, though. The actual homeowner succumbed to a terminal illness just 2 weeks earlier. A woman, Vera Cruz.
Vera Cruz.
Sounds like a code name.
We are dealing with Vile.
Which is why I won't believe any obituary in Acme's files. Not without proof.
Vera Cruz.
Textbook Stealth 101.
We would have rendezvoused with her to start a new life somewhere.
Wolf clearly fabricated your mother's passing to enable her to vanish without a trace.
Everyone leaves a trace. Somewhere out there, I have a mother who may or may not know I'm alive. Are you with me?
To the end of the line.
Sorry I'm being so quiet, but I'm really invested, man. I'm just like...
Then let's find her.
So Acme can't be trusted, Vile can't be trusted. Dava knows.
What is it?
It is your lucky day, Gumshoe.
You're being reactivated.
Carmen Sandiego has crossed a line, and I am dedicating Acme to taking her down. Think you can bring the heat, Agent Devino?
Oh yeah, Carmen crossed a line? You crossed it first by killing her dad. You didn't have to kill him. You could have shot him or like restrained him without killing him. Even if he was going for a weapon. Like, yeah. Yeah, I'm not liking... I don't know. Of course, Shadow-san could be lying again. Or maybe... Wait. What if Vile didn't really trust Shadow-san completely and made it look, and they knew about, because they claimed they didn't really even know about Acme until recently. So what if they'd been lying the entire time and someone else killed his dad or Carmen's dad and made it look like Chief had killed him, but it really was another Vile agent. Maybe it was Gunner. Maybe it was it'd be really weird if it was his own mother, you know. I don't know. I'm looking forward to season 3 though. This is gonna be interesting to find out what's the shakedown is and where to go from here. We know that Shadow-san now has supposedly told the whole truth about his time in Rio and how he discovered Carmen and what went down there. So we know that Acme's chief is the one who killed Carmen's dad, supposedly. I'm not sure if that's actually true. I mean, this is all from Shadow-san's perspective, so I don't know if he's lying or if he doesn't know the whole truth, or maybe his own perspective skewed due to his positioning and his being like he could only see so many things from where he was at hiding and wherever not gleaning things from his report. So due to the reports that were left out, yeah, so I don't know what to expect now that Carmen is actually looking for her mom now. That's her next mission. And Chief is a little upset about the threat and calls back in Davino. I don't know why she would do that. You know, I don't know why she would call Davino back into the picture, considering he's pretty bumbling, but he's also pretty determined. So anyway, until next season. Later, guys. Or folks.